Yeah, this whole report, we're not going over this tonight. This is for another day if there's comments. They don't want comments anyway.
No.
Just say like, here's what we did. Here's the bill.
So she's back in for laughing and joking, because that's one thing.
Oh, see, Lisa said she was setting us all up here, but she didn't, did she?
Okay, it's 5:30.
No water. So,
It's 5:30. Is there any members of the public, other than, you're with a group, or you're public?
Nancy is,
Okay.
but she's here for the housing committee. She's on.
Okay, so I guess that's a little bit later.
Yeah.
I guess if there's nothing from the public, you got anything from the public, Steve? Are you? No? Okay. So I guess SEVEDS annual report.
Okay, do you want me to come up?
Come on up.
Come on up.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I brought you guys, Christmas presents stuff, brought you annual reports from
Yay.
CCC and SEVEDS. So I didn't quite have for you, we have the comprehensive economic development strategy. I just ordered the print copies.
I would take the top of that.
Yeah, sure, please, absolutely. And I brought some extras, if anybody would like them. Yeah, we have some extras. So this is Broadway Development Credit Corporation and Southeastern Vermont Economic Development Strategies. I'm here tonight to speak sort of to both. So SEVEDS is how we say Southeastern Vermont Economic Development Strategies, is a nonprofit organization that's associated with Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation, BDCC. So BDCC is charged as the regional development corporation in charge of economic development for the Wyndham region, which includes Winhall, Weston, Reedsboro, so to become all the way up and around. So we're not.
So
even
it's not just Wyndham County?
It's not just Wyndham County, it's the Wyndham
Yes.
region. So we cover the same footprint as, for example, the Wyndham Regional Commission, the Planning Commission. So
Okay.
just to make it easy, they give us both the same territory.
Okay.
So what we do, what BDCC does is really look at kind of the big picture of regional economic development. So how do all the pieces fit together, business, and then things like workforce development, housing, at times development, community development projects, municipal capacity to do those. How do those all work together to create vibrant communities and a vibrant economy for the region? So, the way we look at it is, you may live in one town, drive to work in another town. We support businesses in all towns. So the way SEVEDS really looks at the big picture and the strategy and develops, sort of big picture ideas which are implemented by BDCC through programs. So SEVEDS does not have any staff. So when SEVEDS sees a program or a project that is going to be pursued, they'll contract with BDCC to carry out that work. So therefore, that's why I am a BDCC employee. So my name is Meg Staloff. I run the Southern Vermont Economy Project, which is a community development project run through BDCC. It actually covers all of Southern Vermont, so I also work with towns in Bennington County throughout.
What was your name again?
Meg Staloff. And so my project is, I run the Southern Vermont Economy Project. We do a big conference every year called the Southern Vermont Economy Summit, catching me. So we do that every year in the spring, but we also are here to help build capacity in our region, so for community projects and board development, helping extend capacity and bring resources in. So BDCC's work really takes, there's sort of three buckets. So there's the community project aspect that I work with. We also have a workforce team.
And what does the community
Business
project that you work with do? What do you do?
So I do trainings to help build capacity. So we've just had a couple of nonprofit board development workshops. We did a grant writing workshop in the summer. Actually, someone from Winhall was there. And we really work with helping towns figure out how to, we bring resources, like statewide resources, make sure that they're brought here and that people know about them, can find them. We make sure that we're always providing that information in the bi-weekly newsletter. If there's any funding opportunities, that we just keep people abreast of what's happening. We program webinars, which are at lunchtime. You can tune in and just get information on upcoming opportunities. We record those, always put notes about those in our newsletter as well. Yeah, and sometimes, we work hand in hand with projects, so if a town really is like, we've got this project and we don't know who to approach for funders, we can sit down and sort of go through with you, well, here's a list of potential funders, and here's what you would need to work with them, and here's who you would call directly.
So just state funding or federal
Yeah,
funding?
what's funders mean?
Yeah, so funders would be state or federal funders, so we don't provide funding, but we can help tell you who to call and help you kind of navigate project management. So we do that for different size projects, anything from like really like we wouldn't necessarily touch something like an infrastructure project because you would work with the regional commission for that. But if you're, taking a community building and you want to, convert it to a different use, who do we talk to?
We've already done that.
You've done that. So, but some towns, for example, like in Athens, they have a project with their old school turning into a community center, and so that's the kind of project that we have just
Yeah,
provided some
What
advice.
about a new
Exactly.
fire station or an updated fire station?
Well, I mean, we can, you probably know some of the funding resources, but we can just
Right.
make sure that instead of you looked at this and if you looked at this.
Okay.
And one of the things we're planning actually for the new year is sort of a series for municipal leaders to get together and really look at various topics. So sort of like, what is your role in economic development and how do you influence that? And so we'll do some presentations and just bring towns together to learn from each other and connect. So we're gonna start that after, VLCT is gonna have an event for Winhall Region Select Boards in March, and we'll announce our schedule after that to sort of keep that work going, where VLCT gets everyone together. We said, we'll keep it going and talk about, resilience planning and a lot of hot topics. So that's the
Affordable housing, is that on?
yeah, we do some of that. We don't, because Winhall Regional is doing great work, and they've done such a great project with that for town housing. So we're really helping connect sort of large housing projects to funding in towns that want them. Not so much, because the affordable housing space is really covered by our housing agencies and people who work really in that space. We're more in the workforce housing.
Okay.
And helping people connect. So with Winhall Regional, you would work with them on land use and zoning, and then our role is to sort of say, well, what next? What are the other things you can do? So we'll definitely talk about the town role in housing development. At one of those, we'll talk about, I think we'll let it be driven by interest that people have. I know a lot of people are interested in, what do you do when your school closes and now you have this building, how do you do that? So there's towns surrounding areas that we'll work with. Talk about that. So that's one thing we do. We also do workforce development. So that takes the workforce development takes several different tacks, but a lot of it is working both with employers and working with local schools to sort of connect the dots and talk about what employers can do to be, employers of choice so that they can find workers. And then we also have worked with the refugee resettlement. Well, that's more in Brattleboro, kind of in the urban areas, but really sort of helping employers be ready to provide opportunities for this incoming workforce that's much needed, and then help those people then move up the ladder and get their credentials recognized and move into things like healthcare jobs where they're needed. So we do workforce, and then we also do business support. So that's kind of the more like
What do you
technical.
mean business support?
So we have lending services, we have all our loans come with technical assistance. So if someone needs to research, capital options, we can again provide help connecting them with resources, but we also do lending services.
That's right, it's Brattleboro Development Credit Corporation. It's
Yeah,
credit.
we have
what I
a
was
couple of different loan programs that they could access, and of course, all those do come with technical assistance, so help with developing a business plan and support, ongoing support. So it's not just money, it's money, but also like how can you make your business be successful. We're also doing a series called BizConnect, where we're connecting just business owners in sort of going around the region. So there will be something up in this area. I'll be scheduling it, so we'll put the word out to make sure that business owners in kind of sub-regional areas are connecting to each other and learning what those particular pockets of business owners need. So, for example, like Londonderry, Winhall would be sort of a group where people who are in kind of the mountain towns could connect together. They had one in the Deerfield Valley, we had one in Bellows Falls. So understanding that like sub-regionally businesses are slightly different, have different needs. So we haven't gone up this way yet, but we just started doing them. So sometime in the coming year, we'll definitely have an event up in your direction. And that's just a way for us to really connect with the businesses, find out, you know, who's around and what they need and how we can best be helpful. And that's, you know, really, we encourage anyone to
So
reach
how are
out.
you funded?
So we're funded through various ways. One of the things we do is SEVIDS makes municipal funding requests in all the towns we serve at $3 per person. So I think that does appear on your social services funding
The
budget.
allocation.
Yeah, the allocation, and we're very thankful for that, so thank you for funding that. And that provides, what that provides for us is a flexible funding source that can be used for startup funding for projects or for matching funds for federal grants. So a lot of our funding might be funded through the USDA. They often require a 50% match cash in hand. So it's really important to us to have that regional support.
So is the request for donation coming from BDCC?
No, that's coming
or
from SEVIDS.
Okay,
From SEVIDS, and then
Yeah,
SEVIDS
it's in
holds
here
that.
already.
Yeah.
I just haven't got time.
SEVIDS,
I just-
had SEVIDS then would have that funding, and then it's at the discretion of the nonprofit to use that money in any way that they feel that it will best support programs. So sometimes that's for programs that don't get funded. Maybe, you know, sometimes federal funding comes, it goes, and there may be a program that's doing really good work, and now it's not successful in its reapplication, and in order to continue that work, we would then make a request to SEVIDS to say, can you help us meet our budget? Or for matching funds, the program that I run, for example, is a 50% match, so every penny we get from the USDA is matched by BDCC, and so if, you know, that's something that needs to be met through SEVIDS, we'll make a request.
So you get funding from BDCC to SEVIDS to apply for programs with,
It goes both ways. It kind of helps
okay,
support our
so,
work in
so
general.
we're donating money to this one,
To SEVIDS.
but you also get money from the BDCC.
It really goes both ways. It's really more the other way. The money that goes to SEVIDS is often used to support BDCC programs. And most often,
Just gets complicated, that's all.
it's complicated. Most often, the money that comes to SEVIDS would then be used to support BDCC programs that might have a funding gap or that might need funds
Okay.
to make up a federal grant match or things like that. So it's important to us because, you know how it is with grants. They come, they go, and so it's really important to us to
Excuse me,
really-
we got somebody had a question.
Actually, I have a question for
Yeah,
you.
sure, absolutely.
You keep saying nonprofits and
Yep.
projects and stuff like that. Would the local fair count?
Potentially.
Being a nonprofit?
Yeah, we can, I mean, you know, I take calls from people like, you know, what do you need, what are you looking for, what can I help you with? And often the service that I provide is simply to say, hey, you know what? It sounds like there's a similar organization in this town, you know, down the road. Let me set up a meeting for you guys to talk with them and they can tell you how they've solved this problem. And we can let you know what resources are out there for you. So we don't, again, provide the resources, but we would be more likely to say, you know, to sort of take a look at your problem and say, oh, we've seen this before, this is how they dealt with it, this is how they got funding, and let's connect you with someone else who may have done something similar. That's a lot of what we do, is creating that network and that connection between projects to be helpful. And it's actually often very helpful so that you don't have to go reinvent the wheel. And we can tell you what resources are out there to help you get where you need to go.
So we fund you to tell us where to go for funding.
Kind of. I mean, it's technical assistance.
I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, it's technical assistance because it's
So
complicated.
are you
right?
putting us in contact with other towns?
Only if
Or-
you call and ask.
Or do you see,
No, we'll
what-
do that. We're gonna do that this year, for sure. Yeah.
okay.
That's in our plan for this year. is
In other
to
towns
put
for
it
what?
To, we're gonna program, on topics that towns wanna learn more about. So what are the areas where you need resources and you need help? We'll bring in the people that provide that help to connect you directly to them, but also to each other for problem solving, which is
So
often.
you guys, the BDCC has revenue of $5.7 million?
Well, that's,
But they give loans.
Right, we give loans and that supports, we own a lot of buildings
Really?
we're a landlord. So
Okay.
that's separate.
Slumlord.
What's that?
Slumlord.
No, we actually,
No,
commercial
they went to
property.
businesses, it's
Commercial
commercial.
property.
Commercial property.
Commercial property, so we provide space, we have, for example, the Vermont Bread Building, which was vacated and left empty.
Which one?
The Vermont Bread Building is a
Okay,
manufacturing space.
over in the
down in
industrial
Brattleboro.
park.
Yep, and so that, we actually purchased that, otherwise it would just be sitting there, so we purchased that, and we're now working to bring that back to life.
Okay.
Oftentimes, we'll be a holding company for industrial property that needs to be cleaned up and made ready for development.
Okay.
That probably wouldn't be as applicable up here in Winhall,
No.
but
No.
that's one thing that we do. Yeah, it's one side of what we do. But, we support, that's sort of the old, I call that the old school economic development that we do. And the community programs and the workforce is kind of more,
And you've put in, do we already
But we
have him in
already
the
do
It's
system?
in there, so
Yeah.
I gave you a copy of this, I don't know if she put this in your packet, but this is just the town report that just, for your annual report.
Okay.
It's just where I go in and I,
Thank you.
no, that
Do
gets
the
it,
data.
yeah, no, Lissa puts that into
I assume
the,
Lissa
she'll put
puts
that in that, yeah.
yeah, no, she just gave us
Okay.
the number, so it's 2307 is what we're giving
And that's the report, that you'll have that in your town report
to
if
the
you want.
southern Vermont, yeah, it's in the town.
Sevens.
And this
Okay.
just describes what we do,
It's
how
a
we do
seven.
it, how we do it,
Which
and
gives,
what we
gives
does,
it to Brattleboro
and-
Development Credit Corp to
Okay,
fund things.
all righty.
Awesome, thank you very
Yeah,
much.
no, and we really have been we work pretty closely with Winhall Regional Commission, and love the work that you guys have done with that four-town housing project. I think it's fantastic, and we plan
Well,
to.
Lucia has worked very closely with Wyndham Regional.
Oh,
You
yeah.
spend a lot of
Right.
time with them.
No, and they.
Well, they just redid our town plan.
Right.
Yeah.
We
Okay,
know everybody there,
yeah,
almost everybody.
all
Well,
right.
we plan to actually, that's something at our Southern Vermont Economy Summit, we want to highlight that project to really show, like, here's how you make a difference, is you
Oh,
take a
and-
look at the big way.
2 Winhall businesses are on their client
On our
list.
client list now, we would like that to expand, so we're always happy to.
Which
Okay.
two?
Cannot always disclose that, 'cause sometimes there's confidentiality agreement, so I run the data report, so I know that there are 2, but.
Yeah, but you don't know if they're confidential, you just said sometimes they're confidential.
Right, so I'm not given the information to disclose that, because it's, usually we just go in through our data,
Okay.
roll it up, and,
And we only have 10.
so there you go, 2 of them have gotten help.
Okay, well,
So-
thank you for coming in.
We'd like all 10 of them to if they need it, so.
Thank you
And
very
yeah, we
much.
wish you the best with the continued work on the housing, and, if there's a way that makes a time at which it makes sense for us to help from connecting people with developers and
Okay.
things like that.
Well, we're putting some money into it and hopefully we can get some studies going to
Perfect.
check on it and see what happens.
Well, we'll keep an eye on it, and if there's a way that we can be helpful in terms of connecting, private and public funding, we'd be happy to
Okay.
look at that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks
appreciate
so
it.
Thanks,
much,
Meg.
Meg.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
Yeah. Have a
Merry
nice-
Christmas.
Oh, thank you. We're almost there, The rain's
Yeah, we're
fading.
getting close.
Yes.
Scott, what do you got going? Geez, he wrote a novel there. Look at all them
He's got a
pages.
book. Hey,
Well, this is, yeah, I mean, this
Just
is
let him give his
everything
report.
from, you know, everything.
You're up.
Okay. Whoops. Let me go back a page. So you don't have it, I believe, but there's gonna be an access permit that comes before you. It's Paul Crocchio. He's gonna be doing a.
Junior or senior?
I don't
It's off the access,
yeah.
it's
off the
it's
access.
TPW, off the
Oh,
access
so
road, that
it's
little
TPW.
piece
I
of
saw the
land.
stakes there the other day.
I saw them
Yeah.
walking through my
So,
window, I could see them.
That's actually gonna be called Side Street, CYE after Cy Slade. And then once they get the road in, then they're gonna put 3 structures in there. I'll put the, numbers to it, but what you're gonna get is the access permit strictly for the road. Trevor's already signed off on it, so there'll be no 911 on it.
Where's the road gonna be?
Right off the
Right.
access
As you
road.
head up the
Yeah,
access
that's
road.
Just
Okay.
before Roberts Road.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but when you see that come before you, that's the reason there's no 911, because it's a actual road to
Oh.
start with. once they get.
What kind of
that
buildings
in.
you putting in?
I think it was an office building and 2 small cabins for
And,
housing.
he may, put it all in one building. He's
No.
not sure yet. No.
Nope, he said 3
Three
buildings.
buildings. I
Well,
have
you'll
all
be the
plans.
first to know.
I have the
Second.
plans already.
Second to know,
Well, yeah, so did
second to know.
Well, not really.
So do I,
She's
and
got
I
the
went
permit.
back and forth with them, because at first they wanted an Stratton access road address, and I said, you can't have that if you have 3 buildings. Anything over 2 buildings, you have to have a name on the road. So then they went back and forth, and they got back to me and said, no, we're definitely going with 3 buildings, here's our top 3 picks for names.
Sure.
So that's where that's at.
There aren't many people here who remember Cy Slade.
Nope.
What?
There's a
I
few. I do.
I remember going there, Edgewood stove, had the door open, Larry said, you're gonna get a kick out of this. And you go in there and there's about a 20-foot log, end of it shoved in the stove. And as it would burn down, he'd just grab it and stick it a little more. He was a true Vermonter.
Yeah.
So I'm just missed the point. So when that comes through, are you suggesting that we sign it or we
Yeah.
don't sign it?
Yeah, well, I'm
Okay.
just saying, normally your access permit.
But it's
No
not
objection,
gonna
you have no
It's
objection.
not gonna need a culvert.
It's a road name, it's not.
Right.
You need them to proceed with getting. their
Right,
extension
Yeah.
they're,
from-
We gotta
they're
approve
putting a
Scott's
road in,
process.
not a, it's a road access, not a 911.
But normally all the
Thank you, Meg.
access permits that come before you have a 911 number
Right.
in the slot. This one won't.
Which
because
after they get the road in and get buildings, then there will
You'll
be
have
911 numbers.
exactly.
Did you explain it to Beth? Because otherwise you're gonna get it.
No, I did
Well-
already. Queenie Universe already called.
She
me.
knows about it, okay, because that could be your.
That one's
hurdle.
on, that one's on tape, Scott.
I know, but that would be the hurdle, you know.
Hey, I'm looking for that lump of coal just as
Okay.
I can get it to her. The library needed a new sign. I told them to get a new sign. We paid for it.
Okay.
Because they're like, well, the last time we had to take it out of the library budget, and I was like, we'll pay for the sign. So they got a new sign.
Okay.
First Line Security has sold their commercial
Ouch.
alarm business because they don't have any technicians that are licensed to work on them, to an outfit called Tasco. I just got a letter from them the other day. I have to sit down with Alyssa and give them their contact information and all that, and then I'll reach out to them and have some kind of conversation.
TASCO,
I believe that is how it was spelled, Julie.
just if I see the,
Yeah, so,
Okay.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
So what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings?
5, right? Isn't
We got the community center.
Community Center Fire Department.
Oh, yep, forgot about that. Yep.
So, and then, like I said, it doesn't surprise me. Tom's had no luck getting anybody
No,
that's so,
that's,
but I'll reach out to that.
Okay.
So I'm,
just while you're on alarms, did you have a chance to check
I
on?
did not, and now I know why I couldn't get anybody,
Okay,
because they're no longer,
okay, whatever, just next time they come, I think it should call the
Yeah.
local number, not 911.
yep,
Whenever I go
Well,
into one of these
especially if-
elevators, if I go into them a weekly basis, I don't, but if I go to them every few months, I push the button to make sure that
To test it.
the phone works in the elevator. And the last time, it always used to go directly to Keene, and they knew who we were, where we were, who to call. But lately, it got switched over to 911, and now we can have anybody from Burlington to Westminster.
Yeah.
And they, what is, and they kind of hem and haw, so
Right.
we gotta get that switch back to Keene. Hopefully, we won't need it, but if one day we had a couple guys get stuck in the elevator,
Yep,
it malfunctioned,
happens.
you know.
What else you got, Scott?
okay, so on the transfer station side, I got a notice from my best of friend Dale Baker from Casella. We had a couple of.
You've had pretty good luck with the bills lately. You've been,
I have. They've
so
been-
so it's
Better
changing
knock on
then, in
wood.
other words.
Well, no, you know, this is kind of a funny thing, because according to Dale, we had 2 cardboard shipments that got rejected at the MRF because they weren't clean. But yet, when the bills came in, I didn't get hit with a higher sort sheet for either load, so I'm a little unclear. But anyways, we've doubled down our efforts once again to try to make sure that, because the contract is very strict on that, there's no contamination whatsoever. So if you see us, Evan up there, one of us out there really.
So I can put brown paper that comes as my
brown
packing
paper and
material.
cardboard. Yeah.
Right, because I have a lot of
Brown paper
Yeah.
in the cardboard.
Yeah.
in the cardboard.
Yeah, people
I mean,
are still
it's
putting it
packing
into the-
material.
Well, and it doesn't, so here's what I told Evan, like the brown paper bags, the brown paper, even if they throw cardboard, that other box up there, that's the commingle box, that box gets sorted.
So that's,
We pay a set fee for sort on that, does not matter what's in it, it gets sorted. So if they throw that material in that one.
it's not
No
the
harm,
end.
no foul.
It's not the end of the world. I
Because
see-
it's getting
I
sorted.
see it a lot. I think what
Yeah.
people do specifically is, I've seen is like they take magazine, it doesn't matter.
And they throw it in their paper
Magazine,
bag.
yeah, all the
Yeah.
magazines go in a paper bag, then the whole thing goes in there.
That's what I
But,
do.
But it says it.
that's no harm, no foul.
Right.
Right.
It's just the other
It's
way.
the other way that it gets us, but I mean,
Yeah.
they sent me pictures, Stuart, of actual bags of garbage that were up in the box and.
Really?
Oh, in the
In ours?
Yeah, it was about halfway in the box. when they
Really?
dumped it. You know, it's things like that.
I don't see that. I could see styrofoam maybe,
Yeah,
styrofoam,
styrofoam.
which is just trash, and you don't need a.
Yeah.
I also see a lot. I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not even necessarily really my business, and I don't know. You know, it happens, I guess. But I see a lot of stuff going in the trash compactor without green bags.
Yeah.
I mean, no big stuff does.
Yes.
But I mean, I've seen people like even like here, a clear bag. I'm thinking, okay, I don't know. Maybe.
So what happens sometimes, it's always been our policy, if you run out of bags, because a lot of people use a different bag and put it inside the bag, they're kind of missing the point, but if you run out of your green bags and you bring in a bag and it's not a green one, we'll let you get rid of it as long as you purchase your green bags
Oh, okay.
on your way
Yeah, I
out.
wondered just a question. Yeah.
It's just, and things like styrofoam, we've.
Yeah, I don't really want to get into your business.
No, I don't require.
And I know styrofoam or or some
Anything
folding
big.
chair or something.
Well,
That's,
anything big
right.
like that, I'm not gonna require you to put it in a bag, because when I originally made the fee up for what we charge, it honestly came out to be about 72 cents. Well, you're not gonna charge 72 cents, you're not gonna charge 75 cents, because you look at your surrounding towns and roughly see where they're at.
On the bag charge, you mean?
Right, so on a 15-gallon bag, the bag is $1.50.
Yeah.
I use that cushion to take care of all those big items, a welcome mat, styrofoam,
Right.
all that can then be put in there without wasting a bag.
Yeah, I throw styrofoam in.
Sort
there,
of,
always.
like when I bring my bags from pellets. Those are plastic bags. I don't put those in a regular bag.
No, they just go in there. It's already built in to how I did it from the very beginning.
All right,
So
just
I
wondered.
know
I didn't want
that's
to tie
covered.
you up.
Yeah,
Just wondered.
okay.
I mean, I never told you that, Bill, because I figured you didn't really need to know.
That's right.
Like you
It
would
was
think
on a
I
need
was-
to know basis.
I still don't need them.
Like you would think I was some kind of magic wizard or some shit.
Well, I know that.
So we're getting back on, we're trying to just curb that crap. I did decide, remember back a while ago I told you about they were charging us rent for the 2 extra boxes that I always have, the open tops? I've tried to send them back, I've tried to cut it down. Just doesn't work. We really ship too much material out of there so I talked to the rest of the crew and I was like, same thing, they were like, I just don't see how we can because
Because you're full up, and your other one
You're
is being
full up and
filled
you're
before
pounding
it
it,
comes
and you're
off.
pounding
Yeah.
it down. I mean, you're in there. Yeah,
Oh
no,
yeah,
it's
my
all filled up.
C&D boxes average between 5.5 and 6 ton,
Mhm.
and they're
When people get rid of a house, I mean, all their stuff goes into there.
they send me little notes now and then, or boxes are way heavier than anywhere else.
Oh, 'cause you're pounding it.
No, they are.
Yeah, well,
So we're gonna keep. We don't have.
Well,
choice. We're
there's
gonna
no
keep-
point in shipping a light load.
Well,
right,
that's it, right?
that's right.
Because then.
Yeah, we don't want to have a traction problem getting up Snow
Well,
Valley.
that, and if it's a light load, you're incurring trucking fees, because you're having to push it out more than you really
Yeah.
should. The other thing, and I had talked to you guys about this a while ago, my last thing, on the appliances that contain refrigerant. We were at $20, and when I sent out the last shipment and then I did the math on it, our actual cost per disposal of each unit was $24.50. And January 1st, I'd like to go up to $25. Lissa says I need
Board approval?
board approval.
Really?
For the change of a fee.
For the change of fees on the,
You know
Yeah,
what? He's in charge of that department.
I would
But
think so.
I would entertain a motion that Scott be allowed to set the fee
somebody
for.
to set the fees. Oh, yeah, I'd second that motion, but I'd also just say make it $30 and be done with it for a few years.
Well,
I mean, people, you're throwing out a whole refrigerator.
But here's the thing, right? Here's what we sit around here and talk about. Julie talks about it quite often, so do the rest of us. Our taxpayers are getting hammered.
Yeah, no, it's getting worse, not getting
So
better.
let's just do it
And
at
if
20.
this
25,
covers it,
Yeah, no,
it's a nice, easy, even number.
Okay, so we had
I'd
a
call the
motion.
question, yes.
We had a motion made and
Second.
seconded.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye, we
Deal
just
with it.
allow you to
Thank
set,
you. We allow
that
you to
motion
set
is
it.
that you set the fees.
So we're gonna say
that-
Scott said it. We just
Scott
gave
set
you our
the
blessing.
fees.
I mean, everybody thinks I'm the one anyways.
Right.
I know, we'll throw you under the bus.
Is there a sign up with the fees at the front
Yes, there
gate
is.
still?
There is,
There was.
we'll change our sheet that we give out, we'll
Yeah.
actually, so we'll go back, we'll be, tomorrow, regular day, we'll be closed Christmas Day, and then we'll open back up Thursday.
Which you're not normally open
Not
Thursday, but
normally.
because of the holiday and lots of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
I
the
had
day
a feeling that's what you were
And
gonna
we've
do.
always done it that way.
Day after a
and
holiday,
everybody
right.
had been asking me, like, oh, you're gonna be open after the day after Christmas? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
it's-
Make sure that wrapping paper goes in the right bin.
Just out of curiosity, is it just refrigerant, appliances containing refrigerant that
Yes.
have gone up?
Which is
Not
what,
like-
air conditioners and,
Refrigerators, air conditioners, dehumidifiers.
dehumidifier.
Freezers.
Freezers.
Okay, so that's
Just
not-
because when we send those, Julie, when they get them to the scrap yard, wherever, they have to pump the gas off. So we incur.
Yeah, it's a labor thing, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that makes sense.
so yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay.
Everything else will stay the same because
You're on track with it.
Yeah, you're getting some money for it, so why
Yep, that's fine.
go?
You get any flack on the holiday bonuses?
No, other than everybody didn't know whether they got them or not.
Didn't they come in?
Well, yeah, they did, but so usually there's a letter that gets sent out that
I
you're
didn't
getting
know.
your thing. and
Oh, it was just a check?
It was just
Yeah.
in your check, like, everybody was like, well, you know, cause usually it was like a separate thing with a
Right.
letter. So I was like, well, they must have, I don't
It's
know,
in- yeah.
I don't ever look at my checks.
Oh, that might be because Nicole,
So,
did.
well, so I had actually texted Lissa, I said, hey, listen, I said, you know, they're all just kind of wondering, and she was like, oh, no, it was all wrapped into the last
Yeah,
check.
that's
And I
what
was
I
like,
thought.
oh, okay, that's why, you know. And then she's like, why? And I told her, I said, well, they're usually, they get that letter, then they know
That says.
it's coming, or it's gonna be in there, or whatever. I said, it's not a big deal. I
No,
said,
they know now.
Now they know that they can just, you know, look at your stub, but a lot of them are like me, I
Right.
never look at my check stub.
Right.
As long as you got checks left, you're okay, right?
I got 5 years of paychecks that I've never even opened.
Yeah.
Just
Well, if
I
you,
guess we can stop paying them, man, if
If
you
you
don't have
just-
to open
you
them.
could actually just pay me a couple of cents. I wouldn't know. The
if you just
difference.
sign the back of those, I'll take them off your hands.
Well, they're all
A small fee. Just for a small fee.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Scott.
That's all I have. If I don't see you folks.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Happy New
Same
Year.
to you.
Happy New Year too, but
Thanks,
I'll
Scott.
see you before New Year. I may
Oh,
not
I'm
see you
sure you
before,
will, though.
may not see you before Christmas. Usually you're working though, I can't spend
Yeah.
any time
Okay, Trevor.
showing with you.
What's up? Oh,
Oh, goodness. Okay, not much.
Okay, you done?
We're di-
No.
No. You and I had a conversation before the last meeting about the truck. Where did we end up with it?
I don't know. I'm not sure just how we.
Which-
You guys, the purchase of Dusty's new truck. We had received a bid on it and you guys didn't feel comfortable at the time of pulling the trigger
I'm,
for some reason.
I'm fine with it. I mean, it was the only one that came through.
Correct.
Right.
which we've kind of made them sole.
Well, that was
So-
a discussion that's what we do going
Because
forward.
at this time, they're the only one that
Has the right
that
equipment.
has the right equipment for what we're doing.
Correct.
We'll be talking about that a little bit later tonight too.
Yeah.
But, I guess we should probably, if we didn't make it clear, we should probably make a motion that we, order the new truck. They're gonna give us, what, $80,000 for
Correct.
the old one?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's when it comes in.
Correct.
So they know that we keep that one till then.
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
so,
So we'll author a motion to authorize the purchase, and,
to replacement truck for Dustin.
Replacement.
And I don't
Yeah.
remember what the numbers are, Lucia,
Well-
we have to go back. So-
It's like-
It doesn't matter.
we do have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, motion was made and seconded. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
I think you much on that. Other than that,
Oh, you know what? There was something now. I don't know if it got resolved, and I went up and looked. We had an email. You probably were on
Oh,
it.
I went and looked too.
I went up
I
and-
was not on it. I
Actually-
actually had a conversation.
So when I went up and looked, it actually was all cleared, and
cleared.
whoever his contractor was punched open the. I'm guessing I couldn't really tell from his picture what the story was.
Well, I don't know what
I
The
that
know.
cul-de-sac on High Meadow.
He
on High-
told me what
High-
it was, cause I
Highwood Road.
talked to him about it. It
Highwood
was,
Road.
You mean you spoke to the gentleman?
no, I spoke to Trevor because.
Well, Ryan,
Not- not
Ryan,
supposed to be.
it's Ryan, and he told us what it was in the email.
Right.
He said he was being blocked in, and that didn't feel like that was right, that he's never been blocked in before. When I went up, whoever does his plowing had totally cleared the thing, there was no blockage at all.
I think like what Trevor has explained to me is they clean the cul-de-sacs after the storm. Because if they cleaned every cul-de-sac in the middle of a storm, it would take an extra hour on each.
I don't think that was the issue. It wasn't that,
Yeah,
it was.
he
So-
wanted it the whole thing cleared.
Well, that, he can hope that, but the problem is, when you're trying to get the roads passable, you
Exactly.
don't take
I'm sorry,
time.
maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was that, and didn't seem like a big problem.
Yeah,
Was
see, I didn't see
that
the email until Julie and I.
I thought that the issue was that the plow truck was actually, instead of, you know, how you can finesse it and not put it all in his driveway, that it was
Right.
blocking his driveway. That's what I
Was,
imagined.
was that the problem?
No, because his driveway, when you pull up the cul-de-sac, his driveway is off to the left,
Mhm.
and Ken
Yes,
makes his
it-
pass up to the right, then he turns around and he comes down out, and that's.
There's only two driveways in that cul-de-sac. There's
Correct.
one that serves two
And
houses.
he's not dumping
And
the
then
snow in
his.
front of a driveway.
No.
There's gonna be,
Well,
in
that's
certain
what I
storms,
thought his
in certain
complaint
storms,
was.
there will be some snow there.
Correct.
And it's just the way it is. I mean, because that's beyond the snow belt. That's in the snow belt.
That is, yes.
You know, anything from Capen's Flats on is in the snow belt.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess just, you know, be aware of it
Right,
and
and,
just,
and
just
just,
try to.
just so you guys do understand, like I had the conversation I had with Julie, and you know this too, Stuart, that during the storms, and if we're talking a fairly decent storm, we wait till the end of the storm to clean them up.
Mhm.
Because it does add time to make the road safe.
Sure.
And,
That didn't come from Lissa, I guess did it come from Beth?
No, it came directly from,
Oh, from Ryan?
maybe it came from Beth. Let me-
I thought it was forwarded by somebody.
Okay,
but,
Yeah.
well, other than that, I mean.
just be aware of it.
Yeah,
I went and looked at it
But-
the day after we got it,
I
and they
did
were
too.
cleaned
It was
up.
totally clean.
And I
just-
kept wandering around.
But that wasn't his
looking.
question though. It wasn't like, can my guys clean out my driveway? It-
No.
No, I see what he was saying, he was thinking that we were purposely blocking it.
That's what I
It
believe the
sounds.
complaint was, and there was a picture, but the picture didn't really seem to show it to
Correct.
me. And I was looking to
Okay.
find it.
Well,
but-
just be aware of it.
Yep.
Try
Yeah,
to,
I
try to
mean-
push it so it leaves him open.
And the other thing I think that is a good point to say is if there was an emergency during a storm, our plow guys are helping EMS or
Correct.
the EMTs to
Absolutely.
get there. So there isn't, you know,
Well, we're trying to get the roads maintained as quickly as possible. Maybe not all the final little
Right.
curves of the road, but so that people can get in and out.
And then I don't know if Lissa's gonna respond to that gentleman, or if one of you guys are going to, maybe that's something you add in the response to him, just saying, you know, we do monitor the rescue channels, rescue and fire,
Yeah,
emergency
I'll
services,
text
and
Lissa.
we usually,
Drop
one of us,
everything
whoever's
in-
the closest, goes to that area.
Absolutely.
And
There have
it's
been
something
times
done
we've
for
had,
a year.
there have been times we've had to sand or salt on highway because we've got dangerous situations and,
Yep.
and we're,
It's just something we've adapted and it seems to
absolutely,
work
I
really
mean,
well.
because we can't get the state there quick enough, where if we've got rescue personnel and fire personnel out
Yeah.
there.
I just went and did one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
A private residence. I had to go back, switch
Is that
trucks.
Highwoods? Is that?
It
the
is
name of that?
Highwoods, but I don't know why
Highwood.
I'm not, Highwood, Highwood Road.
Okay,
But other than that, I mean, we're going forward, we're getting ready for the big gear up for tomorrow.
what's going on tomorrow?
Oh, Ken Riley, here it is.
1 to 4 inches tonight.
Ken
Really?
Riley,
Yeah.
Ken Riley,
Okay.
he sent it directly, Ken Riley, here it is.
Huh.
So here's the picture. See, and I don't get it, maybe that picture is
Alright.
at his driveway, it's not a great picture. Yeah, I mean, that, I guess it's at his driveway, and it's not even that bad, actually. I don't know who does his plowing, but whoever does,
Kenny plows up there, and Kenny takes great pride in cleaning up.
and I was there you were too, but I was there the next day and looked at it, and at that point, it was totally cleared out, so.
Well, his plower came back. I mean, the problem is, if they get there and plow early before we plow the roads,
Right.
there's gonna be that problem.
Yes.
I mean, it's like the guy who goes out and shovels his driveway, and then the town truck hasn't come through yet, and then he fills his driveway
Yeah,
back
yes, he
in.
felt it was specifically, the specific intention of blocking access to 50 Highwood, so just, somebody needs to say that that's clear, not what's happening.
I don't think
No.
that's,
Retributive plowing.
Oh, no.
well,
I'm not sure.
I'm just gonna ask Lissa to respond.
And I just think that that would be a good,
Well,
piece
now that we
of
had a
offering, was to
meeting,
say,
you could say it came up at the meeting, and he can watch the video if he
Yes.
wants. I mean, I went out there, you went out
We
there.
do monitor the rescue channels, and if anything ever were to happen, and it's
Yeah.
nothing maliciously done,
yeah,
um,
okay,
probably because what he does, he probably just backs up and just puts everything down, and down out he comes.
Well, whatever, you could also mention to him to be conscious to try to not, I mean, I don't think it is.
I
just
don't think
look-
he is. I think it was
I mean,
just
I don't,
the middle of a storm when he took the picture and just.
yeah,
I
okay,
mean,
very good.
Other than that, I think we're just plugging along and
All right, so
trying
no,
to keep our head above water. And,
no breakdowns?
we had an issue on one of the Dusty's truck last week. We had to get some brake work done to it. But other than that, we're just nickel and dime stuff, nothing
Okay.
major yet. So we're,
That's a great thing.
yep.
All right, thank you.
Have a good Christmas, everybody. Bill.
Merry
yeah,
Christmas.
you as well,
Happy
Merry
Hanukkah
Christmas,
to you.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas.
And
good stuff.
see you on the highways and byways.
Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
I'll see you on the road.
Okay, Public Safety Facility Design Project. I don't think we've heard anything from Goldstone.
No, that was a good meeting though.
I think so, yeah. I think they asked a lot of questions. I think they'll be coming up with some
Okay,
information.
I'll see how that goes. What's up next?
ARPA,
Well, we did that already.
I think we're,
So, and, yeah, cause it's getting.
well, we're gonna be going to Housing Committee in just a minute,
Yes.
okay? All right, so I think ARPA is pretty well dealt with.
At
and-
the moment,
Yeah,
there wasn't anything left over. We
No.
funded this building. for
and
all the
then we
windows.
put other money into
A reserve account for
for
affordable
the
housing.
affordable housing, yeah, okay. All right, so we'll move on to Housing Committee.
You wanna come on up? So Nancy Yates.
Nancy Yates.
So, she has been like the driving force of the housing committee, and so we thought it was time that we become an official town committee.
Okay,
Which, you know, so we had to come before the board to do that.
Mhm.
We'll be responsible for posting in the 3 places and for minutes.
5 places.
5 places.
No, 5 is the ordinance.
That's
3
just
is,
doing, okay, I'm sorry.
yeah,
Three
3
is-
is what we normally do. I don't know why. I'm not even sure if that was required, but it's what that,
Well,
it
if-
said
if
it
we
was,
did,
so
yeah.
we did it.
So, okay,
So,
have you got any other members lined up?
oh yeah, we've got 7.
7, holy moly.
Well, just been meeting to see what the interest was and
Mhm.
to start to see who, and it seems like a lot of the people who've come to meet with us have a lot of interesting backgrounds and connections to development, wastewater, workforce housing, all the different parts that I have 0 skills on. And so I've been taking the notes and just trying to plan the meetings and help facilitate
Okay,
the conversation since the Four Towns meeting. So that Four
oh,
Towns
okay,
meeting was
that
where
was the
we
one I
all,
wanted.
Oh, that's where people got together.
that's sort of where we
Yeah.
all met and they
Right.
kicked off the idea and that's what that was about, was
But
trying
you
to
are, the
help towns.
committee members that you have now are all Winhall people.
They're all
Yeah.
Winhall
They're all
people, yeah.
So I move to establish the Affordable Housing Committee, so you can do your thing and
Yes.
You guys can elect your own.
See what you can get.
Yeah.
Well, I would say call it housing committee because workforce housing is what the state's calling it now. It's just really not just affordable housing, but housing for the workforce is a little different.
Okay, so we specifically drew a line against that,
Oh.
specifically because workforce housing is something that I feel
That
strongly,
businesses do.
and they are doing it. Stratton has bought
It's
2
about
buildings down in Manchester.
I
Three
think
now,
three.
yes, in Manchester, and they're doing workforce housing.
For
We're
their-
talking about, Hannah came to the meeting,
Oh, right.
Julie's been passionate about the fact that she doesn't believe anybody can live in our town. And they can't buy and live in our town.
That's a
Now,
definite problem.
I've been closing on places at 365, I think that's affordable, but
What they determine, like by the federal standards of what affordable
Yeah.
housing is for people making $50,000, $100,000 or less for a couple.
right, so
What
you
would
then
they
talk,
afford?
so that's,
What would they
there's a
That's gonna be
difference
tough in
between,
this town.
there's a difference between subsidized housing, like
Right.
everything down in Manchester, there's 5 or 6 developments in
Right,
Manchester
right.
that are subsidized, which will give you, you can rent down there, if you make no money, you're a single mom,
Right,
and you're taking care of your baby, and they put you in, your rent for a 2-bedroom apartment in Manchester is
subsidized,
$190
right,
bucks.
awesome. Well, there's different,
You know,
I think
I
we're
mean,
gonna,
there's
one of
some-
the things the committee was talking about is all the different ways.
But we're not
we-
talking about
we can-
subsidized housing.
We are not, we don't really know what we're talking about yet. We wanna build units, like what came out of that Winhall housing, what came out of that Four Towns
Okay.
housing was that in 10 years, you'll need about 150 units, and in 20 years, 380. So there will have to be some sort of rental opportunities, could be rent to buy, could be rent if you work in the area. We can make those rules and we can make those determinations to keep it affordable.
Well, you guys can meet, did we call the vote on it?
We have a
I made a
motion
motion.
and a second.
Second,
So we have a motion made and seconded to allow you to form a
To
committee.
form a, yeah.
We're not.
We stopped
do-
because I called it affordable housing.
Do we
committee.
have to
Housing.
appoint the committee or we let,
No, they can,
Form-
yeah, and we'll bring,
well, you could bring a list of
to bring
appointments
a
and we'll
list so we
approve
know
it.
who they are?
so the
we'll
next
review it.
appointment we'll have to decide on.
Who's on your committee?
Okay.
And then we'll
So a
come in.
motion was made and
Right, I mean,
seconded
that's how Mike did it for the energy committee.
Yes.
to allow you to form a committee and let us know who they are, et cetera, later. But all in favor, say aye.
Right.
Aye, okay.
Great.
Go for it,
We
see
got
what
a
you
lot
can
to
do.
learn, and it's a long process.
Well,
and there's a lot
it's
to
gonna be a
figure out.
tough thing. I mean,
Zoning and all that.
I'm hoping we can do something. It's
Well,
just-
there was just an email, or was it an email that came out, or about the loosening of Act 250?
Yes, actually, I have that right here. Funny you should mention it. It was in the Vermont Digger, and it was about this housing that went up in Virginians that.
Yeah, so,
Act 250.
Act 250, they specified specific areas where Act 250 was loosened for affordable housing
Correct.
purposes, not Winhall.
And not Winhall, right, but, these things, they're.
It can change, you can
They're
get our
talking about-
legislators on it.
Right.
Yeah, we can reach out to Chris Morrow.
That's right.
Right,
So
and there's
we
a lot
want
of
a library, we want a
reforms.
bookstore in it too.
Right, a lot of reforms going on with Act 250, and there's like this Act 181 that allows for different kind of zoning, so we need to learn what we have, what we can do, what's possible.
Right.
So
Okay.
a lot of the towns like Brattleboro and Virginia, they've converted things, some towns have built things, we own
Right.
something, we gotta figure it all out. So there's a lot,
That's why you have a committee
that's
now.
why we have a committee, and it's nice
Well,
to
you're
see
forming a committee
that
now.
there's interest, and like I said, a lot of people who came have some really good background in getting
Okay,
We have
stuff
someone who
done.
knows
Well,
all
thank
the
you.
things.
All the things that we need to
All right.
learn, right.
so, thank you.
Super.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Awesome.
We'll see what we can do
All right, so
to.
we'll make a plan for when, after the new year.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
So,
Thank you,
before-
thank you, Nancy.
Before we go, Mike, you got anything special or you just come in to say hi?
Both. If there's anything that I can be of help to you on, I know this is the last meeting of your session. Yeah,
My
you're-
toilet's backed up, I'm having a bit, oh, that's not what you
Go right
meant.
over to work on it. Yeah, it's-
Not what you meant, it's not what he meant.
But no, it was about the grant.
There's a pending invoice, and I just wanted to be available to you to answer any questions on it. I'm not asking you to take any action to pay the invoice.
Wait, but is it invoice that you have grant funds for already? Why would we not pay it? Is it?
No, there are no grant funds for the invoices, period, is
Oh.
That was the first time.
Right, so we received a grant in 2023 to pay for 2024.
Oh,
We've not received a grant because we didn't
So,
apply for it. For the
How
next
much
year-
has the website, this is for the website,
Yes, sir.
how much has it been used?
I have no idea. because there are no,
Or it
the
doesn't
word
track
is, they
it?
call it analytics, which is, think of it as just a people counter, a visit counter.
Yeah, it doesn't
There's no
count it?
data that we get from that. So unfortunately, I have no way of knowing.
Oh, I'm surprised.
My suggestion for the board would be that you pass over any action right now and allow the Energy Committee to
Come back
come
with.
back to you perhaps in January.
Sure.
And I don't think there's a consensus in the Energy Committee right now about asking you to spend town money on this yet.
Okay.
Okay.
So pending that.
So are you saying, I'm just confused, is there a bill, is there an invoice in our folder right now?
I believe there is, and I'm asking you to no on it,
Okay.
no action on it for now.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
all right.
Okay.
Sounds
So,
good, thank you for
it
explaining
would be
that.
interesting to see if, I mean, I know any websites I have anything to do with, they know that there have been 500 people
Oh, yeah,
to
that's
it,
it, yeah.
or there have been 100 people to it. And that doesn't mean how long they stay,
Right.
that doesn't mean they didn't get there by mistake.
Correct.
But it would be interesting, I mean,
Yeah, I'm
if
surprised
we've had a
Lisa
lot
doesn't
of
have it.
people, then, okay, more to it. If we've had 2 people, which has been you checking on it
Right.
on a monthly basis, you know what I mean? I mean, it just, that's one of the
I
concerns.
I think the people that might be looking at it would be, you know, like, our architect who's
Well,
doing.
that's what I was gonna talk about with the, because, you know, we're putting together,
Redesign,
but we're not doing the plans right yet. We're doing the, what is the word?
conceptual.
Yes, conceptual design for a new fire station, but I would think that that would be
Well,
a
one energy
place.
efficient, for
Right,
sure.
that would be a place as we go beyond conceptual into final plans, if the town votes to do it, that the energy committee could be really,
Well,
Well, I think the
Well-
architect will do it, but then the energy committee can check and see if it really works or not.
the other thing I was thinking is, now that we've upgraded the windows in the community center and the library,
It would be good to do a second reading.
now you could see about doing an energy audit.
Is-
We knew that they were in bad shape, so that's why I didn't feel you should waste your efforts with it at that point, because some of them, you could rattle
Oh, well, we
windows.
took it out of the list, is that what you're saying? We took, there was a list of like buildings to do, and we said, don't bother with that because,
Until we did the windows.
right,
Right.
So,
that one's done.
So when we come visit you in January, one of the things we'll have a concise message for you on is there's a feature in the software that's called cost avoidance. We've done some significant improvements on these buildings,
Mhm.
and we're gonna be able to see how much
Right.
cost was avoided because of the improvements made in calendar year
That'd be
2024 over what the bills of 2025 are looking like.
Mhm.
And so, I think that's really the economic reason potentially to do it, so let us come back to you with
Oh, that's great.
basically a concise, tight
yeah,
summary.
because then we can tell, oh, there's an air gap around that outlet there, or whatever. I
Also,
mean,
you probably have, there probably, you know, could line up some new grants and funding for energy, I would think.
So they certainly are.
We have you in for 4,000, by the way.
Right, and so there may be other good uses for that money, whether
that's
it's
the kind-
energy related or things outside of the energy and the other town needs.
I mean, I mean, it's just one of those areas where there are likely,
seems
there's
like
money,
they're throwing a lot of
there's
money.
federal, state money for
There are, yeah.
for
there are.
energy efficiency.
If you qualify,
Correct,
that's
right,
a pre-qualifier.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyways,
So-
but thank
so
you for
far,
your
so
efforts,
good.
but
Thank you,
it would
yeah.
just be interesting to see if we
Before
have
and
people
after or
responding to it.
I'm eager to see that, and so if, I don't know, because I've not asked Melissa, but perhaps you all know, if our existing website has analytics that count visitors.
Lisa would
pages.
know.
Right. And
You don't
so-
think it does, Lucia?
I don't believe it does either.
Huh.
So lacking that, and I know the vendor does not, they don't
Provide
get
that.
that from the vendor. So I don't think the moment we have any traffic counter, which,
Okay,
but the new website, whenever it comes online.
yeah, well, let's,
That probably will.
yeah, let's hope so.
That's working on that.
Yeah,
That's working.
all right,
Thank you.
well, thank you,
Sure. Thank you.
all right.
Yeah.
Anything else, is that, I'm not trying to push you, it's just, I'm just
I'm
gonna,
here just to answer any questions.
okay,
you
That's
I
great.
appreciate that. I just didn't want you to make you wait till the end here,
Yeah, not at
because you
all.
came in the
Well said.
middle
Thank
here.
you.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's good.
Budgeting,
Well, that would be in there anyways, though, theoretically. I'm not sure we have anything else to do in budgeting. This
So-
is just a presentation from, but listen, did you see anything in here that you jumped
I
out?
didn't see anything, has there been any major changes since then?
No, none.
Made?
And the rate, our tax rate is down 2 cents from last year, so.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Well,
It won't show because
Because
of
the
the,
state
because
rate's
of
gonna
how,
kick
of
us
how
up.
I mean,
how much we
it's
said.
1.5%, but it's down.
Yeah,
Right.
That was
1.5
my-
cents.
Yeah, 1.5 cents.
Yeah, if we didn't have to send $10.4 million to the state, it would help tremendously. Okay, so while we're under budgeting, I have a potential grant for the fire department,
Oh, right, for the equipment,
for the equipment,
right.
which the equipment is on order. The problem is we have to make Central Vermont Motorcycles sole vendor because they were the only ones that had type of equipment we needed.
Right, so you
We-
did that.
Well, I've not done the sole vendor. I've ordered it, if the fire
Well,
department
you
has
did
it.
that at the fire department, you did it through the fire department though, so.
Right, but the problem is, it's gonna be owned by the town, the equipment. The town owns all the equipment,
Oh,
okay? Which is the way it's set up now.
okay.
So, can we take it out of our equipment reserve fund and wait for the grant to come in?
So Alyssa brought it up at a prior meeting, she said that to do that, you'd have to set up a loan with the fire department and have it repaid. Does that sound right? Did she say that?
I just think we can, I think that for ease of it, I don't
If the check comes from
understand.
the town, it'll be cleaner.
Right,
And then
so,
it'll be replaced with the grant. I've talked to the grant people, nothing is set in stone except for death and taxes. But there are only two agencies that qualified and had their paperwork filled out right. One was the PD and one was the fire department.
Did they say how long it is? I mean, do we have to fund this now? I mean,
Yes.
that's my question.
Yes,
Oh, you have to fund it now.
or we have to fund it.
Oh, and the fire department doesn't have this?
Yeah, we do.
they do, they have it in their reserve fund, their equipment reserve fund. There's like over $1 million in there right now.
Because it's sitting. So you're saying take it out of that, and then when the grant comes in, if
Replenish it.
there's a chance it wouldn't, but,
I very, very slim chance.
right.
But
Well,
like I said, death and taxes are only two
and we have, if
absolutely
we have
positive
the
things. right,
equipment
Steve?
reserve fund.
Steve knows about that. He just went through that.
Oh,
tragedy.
yeah, sorry, Steve, that's, those things, it's terrible.
Yeah. So I need
So
a
where are
reading
the
on it.
reserve funds? Fire department building reserve,
No,
equipment
equipment.
fund,
Yeah, the fire, and it's so,
fire
Which
and
isn't coming.
rescue equipment fund
Which isn't
has,
coming due until 26.
but I know just from looking at it over the last 6 years, because when I first got on the board, I'm like, why is there so much money?
right,
And it was explained to me, we're saving for the fire truck, so there
Right.
is enough. I hope there's enough for a sled in there, because we're in big trouble
well, it's
if
more than a
there's not.
sled, it's a few sleds and some
Where
other.
Oh, it is?
There are two four-wheelers, one with tracks, one without, and a new snowmobile. We're operating
It's
with
3
equipment
vehicles.
that is 20 plus, two of them are 20 years old,
Oh, what
one is
about
30
that?
years old.
You did, was
So
there,
is the
was there
old
a trade-in?
equipment getting sold?
Yeah,
Well,
that's what I
that
said,
was the
there a
next question.
trade-in or-
The fire department bought that equipment over the years out of our,
So then you
Coffers.
own it?
well, technically the town has the titles on it. So I am also gonna ask for permission to advertise it for sale and get what we can out of it.
Oh, there was no trade-in value to it, you just
No,
traded
the-
with them?
these are 20 years
That's
old.
just the easy way to do it.
Well, I know it's easier, but it just, we can sell them for more. We can sell them for more in the open market.
Dangerous, that's why we're coming.
Well, I mean, the snowmobile's 20 years old, one of the four-wheelers is 20 years old, and one four-wheeler is 30 years old.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with,
So you wanna make a motion to
Yeah, I make a motion to allow
authorize
What's
the,
that?
the
40
new,
years old.
one's 40 years old, excuse me, I'm off on the
to
foot.
allow
authorize the purchase
purchase
of
of the off-road equipment for the fire department out of the
Equipment reserve.
equipment reserve fund, which is expected to be reimbursed by
By
a
the grant.
grant.
Yep.
I'll second that.
Okay,
I also make a motion that we allow,
I get one motion.
Wait,
You-
let's-
oh, I
Hey.
thought we already voted.
No, we just said.
No, you
just
just
made it, I
made the
said-
motion.
I said second.
Oh, but aren't we making a motion so you can sell the other stuff?
So you want to add to the motion?
Well, I thought it had
Sure,
to be
make it one big
separate.
thing.
Okay.
Make it
Fair.
one motion,
Okay,
Sell the other equipment.
okay.
okay? At public bid.
Lucia needs the one who needs to
Yeah,
get it
Lucia
right.
will straighten that out, but in other
Did you
words,
get
we're
that?
going to get the new equipment and we're gonna
Authorized the use of
advertise.
the reserve funds to get it.
And then that money
The
from the
grant money
sale
should come
goes
back.
back into the equipment reserve fund for the fire department.
Yeah, I mean, even though we paid for it, I don't care.
I
It's
mean,
not- it's
I
not
think
gonna-
that's
it's not gonna
just-
be a lot
It's
of
not gonna be a hill of
money. It's not
beans.
gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
money.
Okay.
Okay, the motion was made and seconded. Any
Certainly
other
the
discussion?
grant money, if you get it, goes in.
Absolutely, absolutely,
Okay.
I understand that.
All in favor?
All in
right?
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay,
Good-o.
all right.
Oh, are we on town meeting warning and articles?
If we're done with budget, I'd say we are.
Yeah.
Because this was a shock to me. I don't even know where this came
I don't-
from.
we
Where did
briefly
Article
dis-
3 come from?
We briefly
Well,
dis-
I asked that we should have,
I would never have, I called Lissa today and said,
I
Lissa,
never said
where did
a
this come
special
from?
town meeting.
Well, that's how it would have to be. She said,
Well,
you have to have a special town meeting to appoint it if it got authorized. But I said to Lissa, I said, I remember some discussions about expanding the,
So have you had a
Lister
lot of
board.
people ask you? I mean, what do you mean a lot?
6, 7? I mean, every town around us has a 5-person select board. Everyone except for Peru. No town who has $17 million in taxes has a 3-person select board.
well, I've been doing it for 14 some odd years, and
I've been on
And
10. I've been on 10 years this last.
yeah, and my experience was, I mean, so you're saying those 6 people are all willing to serve?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think
Because
they're,
there's a big difference between saying,
One of the problems is you're gonna water it down, so you guys have the most knowledge of the town, that's why you're there.
well, and that's part. The other thing is too is I appreciated what you did, which was spent a year coming to every one of our meetings
Right before you
decided to run for the position. I'm not. I've been on boards, and this is I've been on boards with 5 to 7 to 9 people. You know what you get? Everybody has 3 opinions.
You get 3.
So if you have 5 people, you've got 15 opinions, and you don't get anything done.
well, because this board does not run super efficiently.
You don't.
No, because we shouldn't be.
6:30. It's an hour. We're almost done.
No, but we could be doing more as far as planning and.
Well, that's what the planning commission is for, and you have.
Well, I
you're on-
don't. I mean, we're supposed to be the
I mean, you have other
paying the
committee. That's what
bills,
your committee
making
is
sure
for.
that the town is running as efficiently as it can. I mean, that doesn't mean it's totally efficient, but I think that we're.
I think it's one of these ain't broke, don't fix it things. I guess at town meeting, somebody could say, have you
If-
considered expanding the board? We could have a discussion about it.
If someone brought a
but I've
petition
never-
in with 40 people.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Because
That's the
it
whole-
takes 5% of the voting public.
Okay, well, we'll see if somebody, I mean, but the articles, when, the 19th, is that her hard day?
I don't know. She's not here, but I'd say this.
Okay.
This, it could come up, I guess, like I said, at a town meeting, we could have a discussion about it. but
I mean,
I
the problem is.
I've been
it
involved
can't-
in bigger boards, it's never a good move.
It can't be added if it is brought up on the floor. I don't think it can be added, because that doesn't come under to transact any other business that may legally come before the meeting.
It can't come, it's
So,
not gonna come up that,
I-
it'd have to come up to a different meeting, a special meeting or something, if it came up and there was enough support for it, or they could petition at some other meeting to have another town meeting, but.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
not
I moved
terribly impressed
I
with
didn't
it.
even know where this came from, who
Well,
put it
I
in there?
said, I think we need to have the town vote if they want.
Yeah, but
a
we
fund.
didn't
But-
say put
but
an article in.
We didn't vote on it at a meeting.
Wait,
I
so,
mean,
you talked to Lissa and Lissa put this in
No,
because you
we
said.
talked
You got
about it
something,
in
Mike?
a meeting.
you're-
Yeah, I was just gonna comment, it can be only, it has to go to town meeting to be able to expand it from 3 to a number of 5. So it has to go, and it has to be.
Right, it would have to happen at a special or a town meeting.
Or at a town meeting, and the deadline for it to meet all of its deadline date requirements is January 15th.
Mhm.
So either the board can select, I believe, from my reading in the statutes, either the board can select on your own initiative to put it on the warrant without it going through petition.
Well, I would
or
say
petition.
if we thought it was a good idea,
Yeah.
then, I mean, I'm putting my personal opinion toward it right now. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah,
Maybe other people think it's necessary. We had someone else come in who thinks it's necessary.
Right, so I'd move to strike this Article 3 that I never voted to put on here in the first place.
Right, I don't remember.
I was blown away. I opened this
I remember
today.
the discussion where you said, oh, I've had some people ask about.
Right. No one ever said put an
making
article
the
on.
vote.
Well, I thought that we all were like, well, we'll let the town vote on it. That was my,
I never.
memory.
I didn't remember.
Mine also,
What?
Julie.
That said that there's
Well-
minutes that say, so you have minutes that say we said, let's have the town vote on it.
There might be, yeah. Well,
I,
I remember doing
Well,
minutes.
we'll have another meeting before the deadline.
well,
Would
let's,
you please research it for us and check on your
Well,
records to see?
I don't have the minutes, but Beth might be able to do it.
or
Okay.
oh, we all have the
Melissa.
Well, it
minutes.
is, that's
Yeah.
right.
We all have the minutes. Except things were changed maybe.
But my recollection is you want to put an article.
I don't remember saying we were gonna put an article in, to be perfectly honest. Do you, Bill?
No, I clearly don't.
I don't remember voting
I would
on it.
never, I would
say
never,
if
I've
we're
been
suppo-
on too
If we're
many, I
supposed to
would
put an
never.
article on the warning, we normally vote on it. If we say, are we gonna put so much money towards the program in Londonderry? We voted at an article, we put it on the warning.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think that this is something do you wanna make a motion?
well, what is the motion now? I was going
To remove
I was
Article
gonna make
3.
yeah, to remove it, yeah, sure, I'll make
And
that.
I'll second it. I know you want it.
I'm gonna disagree with
That's
that
fine,
vote.
I understand. I don't remember voting to
So
put it
you
on,
would abstain from it.
Yes.
or you can vote no.
Or you
Okay.
can vote no.
I
All in
voted
favor,
no.
say aye. Aye. All in favor
Of removing
removing
it,
it?
aye.
Aye,
Yeah.
and all opposed? Say no. Okay, we have two ayes and one no.
I will,
I'm texting Melissa I had to
Okay,
take
I
well-
out
know
time.
that is in the
So what?
minutes.
The.
Okay.
I'm looking right now, what did you write?
Oh, no, I'm still trying to get through the Ken Riley on Highwood Road thing.
Okay, access permit applications, we don't have any. Correspondence, we assume we don't have any. Website, have we heard anything from Melissa on that?
No.
You know, we talked about expanding the Lister board. Yeah, we did, and we did expand the planning commission.
Blaine,
And we
expanded.
decided to not
Which
expand the
I put
Lister
my
board, but
hands on it.
it would be crazy.
Okay,
Let me have a look here.
I'm looking through, I have all the
well,
minutes.
I don't think we can look through
Yeah,
it
yeah,
as
let's-
for tonight. We're gonna have another meeting before the thing, we can get it back on if we have to. The article,
Well, maybe, I don't know. But you could always have a special meeting if it's really wanted. I just find it,
all right, correspondence, I don't see any. What about the minutes of the last meeting?
I make a motion, we approve the minutes from the December 4th meeting.
Okay, and this is the one with corrections,
Yes.
okay? Second, Bill?
second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'm just looking through all, I'm looking through all the old minutes. I
Well,
would never have, I would never voted to
There,
expand the
there.
board.
No, it wasn't
Yeah,
voting
yeah.
to expand the
Well, you
board,
have to
it was
put it on the
voting to
article.
put it on the
That
article.
if we put it on as an article, either it has been petitioned for it to be put on.
Or we would have had
Or we
voted on it.
feel that it is in the best interest of the town. If we don't feel it's in the best interest of the town, then we don't put it on.
Right. But there, Lucia and Julie are saying that we voted.
I don't know.
Voted
I
to
don't know
put
if
in
we
an
voted.
article.
I don't think-
vote.
We did not vote. Like I
But
said, I
we
would
all
never, ever
said-
have done that.
We all said we could vote on it at town
So we
meeting.
had a
Right.
discussion.
Right.
I would never
And
have
I
voted.
thought that it was
No.
decided that it was gonna be an article.
Right,
I was
me
under
too.
the impression that it was going to be an article.
I was too.
So then it would be in your minutes.
It would be in the minutes, not as a vote.
It would be in the minutes that says that we decided to make it an article.
If we
No?
voted on it.
Yes?
Yes.
That we decided to make it an article.
Actually, I still remember too.
Well, it can't
Well,
go
she
by
doesn't,
memory.
because I
It's
asked her
gotta
this
be-
morning.
So is this
I looked at
on
the
pay-
minutes,
it
I
says
read
it's
that
already been
article, and I'm
paid.
like, called her right away and
I haven't
said,
seen it yet.
when did
So-
Julie, you like
Do
my wife.
that.
She opens it and, what's this? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
So
We're just doing bills now, sir.
It's the wife
We're
thing.
we're just doing bills.
I'm folding this one over
We're
just
just
so
doing
that
bills
we
now.
can double check that it's
Yeah,
not.
sometimes.
Whatever. I
It's
mean,
up to you, but
It's
sometimes-
entirely up to you. You can keep recording. I'm just saying, we're basically in bills now.
Well, keep an eye out for that one bill, by
So
the way.
I want to keep an eye on this though to make sure it's not on the pay order because it says it's already been paid.
Is that the energy one?
No, this
Oh.
is the, it's something for the police, it's the police reserve fund. It's the police equipment,
The police benevolent fund?
no. And
Hey, Steve, thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
it's their body cams,
Okay,
body cam.
yeah, which he got a grant for that, I believe.
right. So there's two.
I thought we paid, Mike, you're still here. I thought we paid, I thought we
It was already in.
I thought we paid it at the, I think we paid it at the I mean, I'm looking, but I think we signed off and paid it.
Because we had.
Okay, Lisa was leaving me into the understanding that it was not gonna be paid.
Well, if
Okay.
she
Oh,
didn't
well.
put it on the pay order,
Yeah,
but I don't know. I haven't seen it in my stack of bills.
Okay, and it's not in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna double check.
All right, now which way are we going?
Who would it be,
Clockwise?
what would it be from, Mike?
Clockwise, there we go. You go there and I'll
Mike,
go.
what would it be from?
the company would be, the headline would say Energy Cap would be the logo at the top left.
Yeah.
Double
I mean,
checking.
I kind of remember seeing and going, oh, sure, pay this, we have grant money for it, is what I
Yeah.
remember
Well, we
thinking.
did last year.
Right.
Dollar value would be
What,
$3,250.
what was the
Oh, where's
name
the
again?
company?
I'm looking, Bill. What's the name again? Energy?
Energy Cap is the vendor.
Energy.
No, it's not on here.
I haven't.
Because these are in alphabetical order. That's the only reason I can say that with a fair,
Right.
now, it's not on this one.
I think it was on the last one we did, and I think we paid it.
I don't remember that, but that doesn't mean anything.
Uh,
I wish we could tell how much more we owe.
On what?
Jesus Christ.
On this
On
building?
this building.
I know. Why are we paying on it for so damn long?
Oh, because it was bonded, is that why we're paying?
Yes. It wasn't that much.
The loan amount was $705,000, but it doesn't show how much we owe.
Well,
We'll have to ask Debbie.
Debbie would know all of
Yeah,
that.
we'll ask Debbie.
In fact, it might be in the auditor's report that they just put away.
Okay, here,
Wait, I'm not
here's
done.
your stack.
I'm not done.
Well, I haven't done this.
Oh, okay, so I take
You're
it.
good. Apple tractor.
Okay.
Okay, looks like we got the new sign done.
For the
Oh,
library.
no, that was for the library,
Right, that Scott mentioned that.
yeah. I don't know if we've gotten the one, didn't we have to replace one of the town line signs?
Yeah, the one over on South Road.
And he was talking about replacing the informational sign on Winhall Hollow.
Correct, yeah.
What happened to that? Is that the rotten one?
Yeah.
They were made. of
I
wood.
actually thought he did a pretty good job holding it together. I haven't
Yeah.
looked recently, but.
It's made of wood, they can only last so long.
Yeah.
And then it's just painted wood, it's not PT.
Oh dear.
Clockwise still?
Yep,
Okay.
you've seen that, that's the last one you've got.
Okay, Emmerich, Coleman.
I know.
They gotta pay your bill, they gotta
They
keep them,
in the mortgage.
going.
What is the name of that that's already?
Energy.
No, the one that has already been paid, that
I
it
don't know, I haven't
says,
seen it yet.
okay, well, when it folds over,
And you,
let's double check.
that's like my wife, she grabs
What? Oh,
a,
was
she
it
grabs an
here? It
envelope
says
and
already-
opens it and
was it
says,
in
what's
here?
this?
Yeah, it was folded, I folded it over just to make sure. that it's-
Already added to the pay order, this
That-
one?
No, not that one, it was up at the, towards the front, it said, I folded over the corner, the other corner.
Here it is.
What is that from, what's the company?
Axon Enterprises, there's 3 in here from Axon.
Okay, so there's
Enterprises.
only 2 in here. So there's a 6414 and a 10,098.
Oh, so
What
this
does it-
10,275 is already paid, that's what
What
you're
does
saying.
it say it is, or doesn't it say?
It says 10,000.
I know, but what does it say it is?
They all say the same thing, it's it's one number, sales amount,
Okay.
and it's
Oh,
Winhall
the
Police and
PD.
Rescue.
So it's probably the,
It's their new body cams.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so this I don't need, where did this come?
And maybe
It's
they're,
another?
That's your third
yours.
one.
It is?
Seems like you've done 3 already.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I think I did do this one.
I like this, finished for now.
Yeah,
More work to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
so, Michael, do you see the energy, the electric bills?
I
Oh,
do.
You do? Okay.
Yes.
I assume Lissa shares those with you.
Yes, thanks.
Yeah, so now that we've got those buildings tightened up, now I think if we could apply for a grant or whatever to do the energy audit, I think that would be, now, I mean, it just didn't make any sense to do it before with the windows rattling in the frames to do it. It just seemed like a waste of energy. But now I think now we could get a true reading on what the rest of the building is doing, if
Okay,
that
into November.
works
on
out,
this, and there's
you know.
no minute that says anything about expanding the select board.
I know we discussed it, but I don't remember voting.
Yeah, I know we didn't vote it, but I thought we had said, yeah, let's put it on
Whatever,
the, let's
we'll have
put
to
it on
check.
the thing.
It's not on here anymore.
I will go back on winhall.org and find it.
Yeah, send it to me.
If I find it.
So
I'll
he's
send
gotta
it
find a
all to
new
you.
company for our fire alarms.
No, it's, it got bought by Tasco.
I know,
Yeah, so it's new.
So,
yes.
yeah, but we have to see if he's going to have
Keep-
that done. I mean, if he's,
Oh, here's a note. Select board, here's a note on, here's the only note I've seen, October 16th of 2024. There's a note, it says, the select board discussed increasing the board to 5 members. It would need to be voted at a town meeting at March.
Yes, and I thought we had decided, okay,
The note
let's vote on
decided,
it.
it says,
Okay.
discussed increasing the board to 5 members. It would need to be voted at a town meeting in March.
What's this? Oh, that's-
Berkshire Eagle. Oh,
Well,
this is-
10/16/24, so back in October, it came up, and, yeah, there was a few other boards. We did expand the planning commission, and we talked about expanding the listers and said no.
Oh, no, we don't, no, we don't need more of this first.
Right, we talked about it
As
because
long as
now
we
we
got Doug,
qualify to
As
expand.
long as we got Doug, we're okay.
Because based on number of taxpayers, we now qualify to expand the lister, you couldn't
So,
before.
also, what is our next meeting going to be? because the first Wednesday of January is January 1st.
I'd
I
say we
have
do it.
no problem doing it, but
I don't know.
are we gonna do it the 8th and the 15th, or
What
the
do you think?
8th and the 25th?
I don't care.
What, are you
I have
past
no
your-
life.
Well, now I'm on the planning for the 8th.
Oh, so the planning is on the 8th. I mean, I have no
Did
problem
you sign
doing it
this?
on the 1st.
Did you sign this?
Yes, I did.
What do you wanna do, Bill?
Whatever you guys
I
agree to.
don't
works.
do anything New Year's Eve. I have no interest in doing anything New Year's Eve.
Well, I wanna get to bed.
Right?
I don't wanna,
That's the night before.
oh, you're right, I'm sorry. It isn't New Year's Eve, I apologize.
Right.
No, but it's New Year's Day. So some people are traveling or have plans, and
I don't know, I don't know what I don't know, I'd almost say to not have it New Year's Day.
All right, well, let me know, because I have an agenda for January 8th.
You
For
do?
the planning commission.
What time's your meeting?
Same time, 5:30.
Well, I don't know, what do you guys wanna do?
I'm
Give me-
fine with keeping it on the 1st. I'm working that day. I mean, it doesn't matter to me,
Bill,
but there
you
may,
wanna do it on the first?
That works for me.
are
Okay.
you working that day though?
Okay, I guess we'll
Not
have it on the
5:30.
first. All right, anything else? Anything come for the meeting?
No.
Okay, we got a nice letter, a nice note from Greg Eckhart,
Yes.
thanking them for everything that they do for the town employees.
Just nice.
Yeah, he always writes something. Handwritten note is an uncommon thing now.
No.
Okay, motion to adjourn,
Second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Merry Christmas and happy
Merry,
holidays.
happy Christmas, Hanukkah, New Year, all